The Tale of Rumpelstiltskin. How a Name Saved a Life. Once upon a time, in a quiet kingdom surrounded by silver rivers and green hills, there lived a poor miller who wanted nothing more than to be noticed by the king. One day, as the king rode past his mill, the miller foolishly called out, "Your Majesty, my daughter can spin straw into gold." The king stopped at once. "Straw into gold, you say?" he asked, his eyes gleaming with greed. "Bring her to my castle. I shall see this miracle for myself." The miller's daughter, Elara, was gentle and kind, with golden hair and honest eyes. When her father told her what he had said, she was horrified. "Father, why would you lie so?" But it was too late. The king's guards came and took her away. That night, Elara was locked in a cold stone chamber filled with piles of straw and an old spinning wheel. The king said, "Spin all this straw into gold by morning, or you shall never leave this room alive." Then he turned the key and left. Elara sat down and wept. She had never spun a thread of gold in her life. The moonlight crept through the window, and her tears glistened on the straw. Just then, a strange little man appeared in the corner of the room. He was no taller than a child, with sharp eyes, a long, crooked nose, and a smile that twitched like candle flame. "Good evening, my lady," he said in a sing-song voice. "Why so many tears?" Elara looked up in fear. "The king demands that I spin this straw into gold, and if I fail, I shall die." The little man chuckled. "Well, that's easily done for a price. What could I give you?" "I have nothing," she said. He tapped his chin. "Your necklace? That will do desperate." Elara handed it to him. He sat at the spinning wheel, hummed a tune, and whir, whir, whir. By dawn, the room was filled with golden thread. When the king saw it, his eyes shone brighter than the gold itself. "Marvelous!" he cried. "Do it again tomorrow, twice as much." Again Elara was locked away. Again she wept, and again the little man appeared. "What will you give me this time?" "My ring," she said, trembling. He nodded, spun, and by morning the room gleamed with gold. On the third night, the king brought her to an even larger room, filled from floor to ceiling with straw. "Spin all of this," he ordered, "and you shall be my queen." When the little man came once more, Elara said tearfully, "I have nothing left to give you." He smiled. "Then promise me this. When you become queen, you will give me your firstborn child." Elara hesitated, but she was frightened and saw no other way. She agreed. When morning came, the king found the room shining with gold and married her at once. A year passed, and Elara bore a beautiful baby boy. She had almost forgotten her promise until the little man appeared at her bedside. "I have come for what you owe me," he said. "No!" Elara cried. "Please take anything else, jewels, gold, even the crown, but not my child." The man tilted his head. "I am not without mercy. If you can guess my name within 3 days, you may keep the child." That night, Elara sent messengers to every corner of the kingdom to gather names. She whispered everyone she knew, Caspar, Melchior, Baldwin. But each time, the little man laughed. "No, no, no." On the second night, she tried stranger names, Balthazar, Rippenkratz, Schimmelpuff. The man only twirled and sang, "Wrong, wrong, wrong." On the third night, one of her riders returned. "Your Majesty," he said, "while deep in the forest, I saw a small hut. In front of it danced a little man singing, 'Today I bake, tomorrow brew, the next I'll take the queen's son too.' Glad am I that no one can claim Rumpelstiltskin is my name." Elara's heart leapt. When the little man came again, his eyes glittering with greed, she smiled calmly. "So, my friend, is your name Nicholas?" "No." "Perhaps Conrad?" "No, no." "Then perhaps Rumpelstiltskin?" The little man froze, his face twisting in fury. "The devil told you that? The devil told you!" He screamed. He stomped the ground so hard that it cracked open beneath him, and he vanished, leaving only the echo of his shrill cry behind. Elara fell to her knees, clutching her child, tears of joy streaming down her cheeks. The curse was broken. The king repented his greed, and the queen raised her son with love and wisdom. And deep in the forest, where no one dared to wander, some say you can still hear faint laughter like the rustle of straw in the dark.